Hey guys, the book I'm gonna talk about today is Faust. Talk about Faust. The author of Faust is one of the most well-known writer who could have heard from anywhere. The author of this book is Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and he worked as a famous writer and worked in a political party. He died at the age of 83, but at that time living to the age of 83 was nearly impossible for Goethe. Luckily he lived until 83, and because of that advantage he was able to write many novels that are very familiar to us today, and those novels are Theory of Colors and Italian Journey and more. But the book Faust, which I'm gonna introduce today, is one of the most important novel that he wrote for many years. So now to talk about the story of Faust, we need to know the protagonist of the book. So the protagonist of the book is Faust. So Faust is an old man who always studied hard to learn about his life. Although he was very successful in those studies, those knowledge weren't able to make Faust happy anymore. So due to that, he always felt depressed, and he believed that he should rather die. So he tries to kill himself because nothing was able to make him happy. But then a devil named Mephistopheles comes to Faust and has bargains with uh, Faust. So the deal was, if the devil gives Faust a life that he desires, and when Faust says, "Stop, you are very wonderful," Faust's soul is given to the devil. Although Faust was kind of concerned, but he didn't like his life, he agrees with Mephistopheles' bargain, and then the devil brings Faust to the witch's house and makes a drug that made Faust younger. So when Faust got younger, he meets a beautiful woman named Gretchen. So she was a beautiful young woman who Faust wanted for his life. So, however, Faust fell in love with this pretty woman, but sadly, she uh, he soon became sick of her and leaves her alone. But after a long time, he regrets it and he tries to find her back. But Gretchen was already captured because she killed her mom and her baby. So she was sent to the prison, and Faust finds her and asks her to leave with him together. But Gretchen rejects his suggestion because she was already saved by the Lord. Then the devil tells Faust that they shall leave, and he leaves Gretchen again, which is a sad resolution. And he also goes to ancient Rome, and meets the king of the Rome. The king of the Rome had confidence in Faust and makes her daughter marry Faust. The daughter was named Helen, and she was one of the most beautiful women in ancient Rome. However, they had a child, and the child name was Euphorion. And Euphorion had wings that could make him fly, but his parents didn't want him to fly, so they didn't allow him to fly. But he break the rules and he flies. Then one day he flies into the high sky, then he falls and he literally dies. So Helen got furious and she leaves Faust alone, and the plan that the devil wanted Faust to say, "Stop, you're wonderful," was all ruined. But Faust thinks how he could be happy, and he decides that he should stop helping other people, and so he buys many lands and builds up many structures that people could use. But he says, "Stop, "You're wonderful," and eventually he dies. Fortunately, the moment when he said stop, was the moment where he helped the people. So his soul was able to go to heaven, not into the Mephistopheles' hand. So now to analyze the character, Faust is the protagonist, but and he doesn't desire to live anymore. Then he has a bargain that uh gives him a full energy to live, and the devil tries to attract Faust by falling in love with the woman, but he gets rid of those desires and tries to help people by building structures that people could use. So he symbolizes people who struggle from the devil's attract. And now to talk about Mephistopheles, so he's the antagonist of the story, and he makes a deal with the Lord that he could attract Faust to be tempted. However, he tries to tempt Faust by giving the things Faust desired, but eventually his plan fails. And now, uh, my personal reflection. So after I read this book, I realized how Faust was similar to people all around the earth. Um, so like the devil came to him when he was very depressed, and this was similar to us when we are very depressed, and the devil comes to us, and how Mephistopheles tried to attract Faust by giving him the things that he desired was similar to us when we always seek things that we desire, which God doesn't want us to do. So however, Faust was able to get rid of those things he desired and which God didn't want it. So I think Faust is a good symbol to people that how they should act like Faust by stop getting attracted by the devil and follow the God's word. Thank you.